Hello, my beauty accessorizers. Julia here from Accessorize Your Life. I'm glad you decided to tune into this video because it's time to review the palette of the week. For me, it has been Guerlain. I pulled this in my Shop My Stash and I did looks throughout the week with this palette. This is Mystic Peacock number 360. It is in a beautiful gold plastic packaging that has some appeal to it, in my opinion. It comes with a dark black velvety sleeve. I think I have it here. I put it away. Yeah, here it is. And also within the sleeve there are, well, I've tucked them in the sleeve. I thought there was one more thing, but there's a shield and two little brushes that I've tucked in here. I thought there was a little blur on the eyeshadows, but it is not. So this is a part of Guerlain's Ombre G collection of eyeshadows. It comes with 4 intense shadows with different finishes. This line, or the makeup director in general for Guerlain, is Violet. Violet has done some modern, updated changes to Guerlain's makeup. It's brought it more in the forefront and making it more approachable for younger people, because Guerlain is an old house and they do perfume like no other, and it has become one of my favorite houses. I'm not quite sure why. In the perfume realm, I can understand it somewhat, but there has been a perfume that has a DNA that has not been my favorite, but has grown on me. And I felt that way even though I was buying Guerlain perfumes and makeup items. As far as the makeup, their makeup is good. I feel very good, but it's not all inclusive. You know, I don't think Violet has got that aspect of the foundations, maybe the powders, you know, like the pearls and things like that. They say they reach into the deep end of the spectrum, but not deep enough as far as I'm concerned. So that's why I question, or I'm hesitant to say that Guerlain is a favorite house of mine, but it is for some reason. It actually is. So, you know, I'm going to tell the truth. I actually like Guerlain. I wish they'd just do a few things better, but then that would be, you know, my personal choice. I don't have to partake of the line or the company, makeup line or the company in their perfume or makeup if I don't like it. But I do like it for some reason. Go figure. Let's get back to this. So, like I was saying, I played around in this eyeshadow quad, and it's a quad. There's 4 colors in here, 4 different textures and finishes all week long, and I would think that I would know this palette pretty well, but there's still some questions in my mind about this formulation or the finishes of the eyeshadows. Now I have my notes here, so glasses are going on so that hopefully I'll tell you everything. This palette has a 6-month shelf life. So once open, you can expect it to stay fresh and easy to apply for 6 months. After that, you're on your own. If you decide to keep it and work with it much longer than that, you know, that's on you. But air does get into the eyeshadows and affect the eyeshadows, whether it is causing bacteria to grow or if it's just diminishing the aspect or the finish of the shadows, if they're more drier or if they're not working and giving you the pigment that you expect. But this has a 6-month shelf life from opening. Now this is a palette that's sat back there in my wardrobe for quite a while without me using it. I don't know why exactly, other than maybe I just didn't know what to do with it. That's the case with a lot of eyeshadows in my book. It could be that it's more of a cool tone palette, which I really did not realize when I purchased it. That's one thing. I haven't quite gotten the knack of what's cool tone and warm tone easily. You know, I still struggle with that. It's also a little dramatic. I mean, I think it is, because the colors can be, you know, they're intense. They're peacock colors. What can I say, you know? So therefore, on a lighter skin tone, this is definitely a dramatic palette. On me, I didn't think it was so dramatic when I purchased it. I just thought, oh, those colors will be intense. So, you know, we all look at it differently. But anyway, there are 4 different finishes in this palette. There's a satin, like an intense satin, they're saying. There's a matte, and there's a metallic, and a pearl. And I'm going to classify them the way they appear to be to me. Let me get the cover back out and put it over the mirror so I can hold this and not be worried about flashing you light. But I do want to say there is a mirror there, and it says Guerlain Paris there. Although it says Paris, the company is in Paris, I believe these are formulated, yes, they're made in Italy. So Italy produces some of the best eyeshadows. I don't know what's going on in their factories or whatever is happening there, but they come away with some of the best blended unique formulas. Yeah, so you know, that's what it is. Now, Violet took these colors from nature. You gotta say that when you think of a peacock is a natural animal. She took them from nature and she made them to enhance our eyes, and that they do, I feel. So you cannot say that there's no color here. There is color. I want to, I thought my phone was going off, say that this is not a messy formula. This applies to the eyes very nicely. All of them do, sort of, kind of. It is a wet-dry formula, so if you want to change up how this applies to your eyes, the intensity maybe or whatever, you can use the formula wet. My phone keeps beeping, I'm sorry. I have chosen not to do that because when moisture and air gets to your eyeshadows, the longevity is decreased, or also the finish is decreased when you go to put it on your eyes. But again, this is the Mystic Peacock palette, and I think it checks all the boxes, but we will look at the boxes later. Let me do a swatch of these colors to let you know which is matte, which is metallic, which is satin or pearl or whatever, in my opinion, because they say something different. So I'm going to swatch right here. I'm going to pull out my cloth here to wipe my fingers. So I'm going to start with number 1, the number 1 shadow. Move here, and finish here with the teal blue. So starting with this beautiful blue, it's a cool sheen blue, and it has luminosity to it. So I wouldn't say it's a matte, I would say that this is a satin. And we're going to just give it a swatch right there. I think this is a beautiful blue. I struggle to say that it's a, let me swatch it again because it has a little skip there. I struggle to say that it is cool, but I mean, that's what it's saying, that it's a cool blue. But it definitely has some sheen to it, and it looks like a skirt I have that is a satin skirt in this blue, maybe a little deeper, but it just has some depth to it. It has some light to it, and it's beautiful on the eyes. And it just works easily and effortlessly when you apply it to the eyes. So next we're going into the second shade, which is a matte. And this is a brown, and I'm really putting my fingers in it so you can see it. And the thing about this brown, I had to learn to work with this brown. I'm going to swatch it again. On a lighter skin tone, I could see where they would feel that this is real intense. But on me, it has some degree of intensity. I found that you really have to use a certain brush to make this work on my skin tone. but I do love it. It is a cool tone. It is a dark brown, and it has, to me, a matte finish, but this is dense, and it is creamy and smooth as well. And it's firmly packed in the palette. It's firmly packed in there. There's no sheen really to it, but it's creamy and it's smooth, and it applies pretty smoothly. Next, we're going on to a metallic. Now, this is where it gets confusing to me, because they have a luminous metallic and they have a radiant pearl listed as the finishes in this palette. So that leaves us with these two rather sparkly shadows here. Now, which one is more sparkly than the other? I would think it would be this one. Which one? Maybe I could say it has a more of a metallic finish. I would say this one. This one, to me, I mean, this is glitter. I mean, I'm confused, but let's swatch them anyway. I'm going to start with what I've been calling orange all week long, but it's actually, I'm gonna wipe my finger, they're calling it a warm tone copper finish, and they're saying that it has a metallic finish. So it's a luminous metallic, but I have worked with it and I think that it's more of a radiant pearl. This is it, and it does look metallic, but compared to the other color, it looks more like a pearl to me, if I had to say which was a pearl and which was a metallic. So I'll give it to them. It is metallic looking. But, you know, when I compare the two, it looks more to me like a pearl compared to the next color. Alrighty, you see I'm struggling here. The last one and this one, guys, I'm getting shimmer all the way around with this one. And they're calling it a radiant pearl. It's a teal blue. It's sparkly. It has glitter, and it has a finish that I wouldn't classify as a pearl, but yeah, I don't know, but they're saying it is. So let's put it right here, and maybe because it isn't as deep, it's really lightweight, because what is a pearl? A pearl gives you just a lit from within look, and maybe that's why. Okay, I'm getting it. When I swatch it here, maybe it's that, because it's a lit from within look. It has a little radiant glow. Yeah, so maybe that, I'm getting it now. Yeah, this is helpful. This is really helpful. When you get stumped and you're using these shadows and you're trying to classify them, I don't know. It just takes a while to get it sometimes. So okay, I'm on board. This is the Radiant Pearl. It's a teal blue. It's luminous to me, from a lit within feature. It's sparkly, it's glittery to me, and the texture is nice. It is very light, and I almost say it's like a topper. Whereas this one, when I look at it a little more, this copper, it is a luminous metallic. It's a warm toned copper with a metal finish, or orange. And again, this number 2 is a cool tone, intense brown. And finally, or the first one here, number 1, is a cool sheen blue, even though it is a satin. They are beautiful. So I'm going to do a look with these, and I'll talk a little bit more about Guerlain's formula, how easy it is to apply, and actually what I think about them. So let's get busy here. And I'll get into music here, cue in some music, and just give you my thoughts on this palette as I'm applying these shadows. Alrighty, so looking at the Mystic Peacock palette, it's a wet, dry formula. It's not messy to apply. It checks all the boxes. So let's go through those boxes. The first box I have here is intensity. Then we'll move into pigment, longevity, and yeah, that's it. So starting with intensity, all of them are vivid. The blue has sheen, the copper, it's the teal, all of them are vivid. On me and my skin tone, I find that the brown is a little dull. It's a cool tone, dark brown, so it doesn't bring any light or luminosity to my eye. If you're lighter tone, you may get that. As far as pigment, all 4 shades reveal a burst of color. Imagine you have a colorful balloon, like a red or blue balloon, and you pop it, and out comes an array of red or blue. All of that little confetti comes popping out. So it's a burst of color on top of color. And I think the only one, again, is the brown. With the brown, I had to use a synthetic, dense brush in order to get color payoff. But that's not bad. You just have to know the right tool. And finally, longevity. Again, all 4 check the boxes because they gave me many hours of wear. They stayed in place where I laid them, and they were easy to apply, and they didn't creep or do anything funny. They blended well. They played well in the sandbox. I think this palette is great, and it shines for all occasions, maybe special occasions even more. It's a little more dramatic if you want it to be. It's a little smoky if you want it to be. But you can also get some subdued looks, which I tried to show you this week. So I didn't have any problems with this formula as far as being sensitive to my eyes or irritating my eyes, anything like that. I am very happy overall with this palette. A little perplexed as to why I purchased it, maybe because it's the Guerlain factor, but I'm happy I have it. I'm going to finish up my look with Guerlain. It will be the scent trail for today, and when I redo one of these looks from this week, I'm going to use this scent along with the long established scent from Guerlain that I have, which is Shalimar. Now this is the updated Shalimar, and I'm going to spray this on because I think it's the perfect addition to this look. And have to pump it quite a few times to get it on, but it's delicious. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. I will go into depth a little more about that fragrance when I do my Beauty Room Chronicles. But I'm loving this look, I'm loving this palette, and I'm loving what I've learned about this palette and how to use these colors, and that's just it. Again, I'm bringing you looks that you can feel comfortable wearing and also that are appropriate for women over 60. It's not too much. It's just right. You know, I would say less is more. I so appreciate you being here with me while I play with the eyeshadows in my collection, my Shop My Stash, that I pulled and put in my tray for the month. These colors are beautiful, and getting to know them has been a pleasure. They really enhance the eyes, and I'm here for it, and I hope you are too. See you next time with a new palette. What will it be?